Hey everyone, Son of a Silver Stacker here. Welcome to the best U.S. Mint news channel on YouTube. At least it is in my opinion. Today's date's the 28th of November, 2025, and in this video we're going to be talking about those last Lincoln cents that were struck by Treasure Beach over there at the Philadelphia Mint in Pennsylvania. Now they're up for auction over at Stack's Bowers. That's incredible. Now, before any of that, though, make sure you hit that like button. It'll send this video into the viral mode where hundreds of people could possibly view it. Also, if you're a returning viewer and you haven't subbed or you're new here, make sure you subscribe. I mean, you don't have to, but it'd be really cool if you did. We're trying to get to 15,000 subs before the 1st of January 2026. Now, let's bounce over to moneymetals.com. I can show you those live spot prices. You won't even believe it. You won't even believe what you're going to see here. Now, gold's up $20 and a nickel to 41.9185. Look at that. Silver up 54 cents to 54.13. And the all-time high silver price was $54.49 in October of 2025, 54.49. So we're like just really closing in on that silver price. But look at this. This is even more amazing. And I think that's that parity I'm talking about. Platinum is up 116.75 to 1741.65. But look at this palladium up $218.35 to 1676 10 cents. That is like wow right there. That is quite something. And could palladium actually outshine platinum? Absolutely. Palladium could easily be more expensive than platinum, and I might see it sooner than later. Now over here, you're looking at Dr. Copper. He's flat at $4.96 a pound. Down here, you're looking at an in-stock American Silver Eagle, whose premium is $9.49 for a quantity of 1 through 39. They pay $63.62, and will we see $65 or $70 for one American Silver Eagle? I bet we could. Down here, this is the buyback. The sell-to-them price is $54.60. And that's definitely above the silver spot, but not typical $1.20 that we generally see. Now, over here, the United States Mint's product page for 2025. The American Innovation 2025 $1 coin reverse proof set does not have a date yet on it. And that is out of San Francisco, California. That's something to think about right there. Now, I think they're going to wedge this set onto the 2026 product schedule in between January 6th and January 20th drop for the Congratulations set and the American Eagle with the Privy Mark and the dual date action somewhere in here. And we will be going live for the 2026 drop right here. And I can't wait. And just so you know, it looks like the Congratulations set, and we have it under subscription here, is still available for that 2026 Congratulations set at 60,000 is the mintage. And a lot of you actually have told me that the mint has not gone into your account and lowered your subscription from 3 to 1 yet. So, but I imagine they probably will when they get back from the holidays. Now over here, this is a press release, came out November 12th. And that was just, 16 days ago, about 2 weeks and 2 days. The United States Mint hosted a ceremonial strike event today at its Philadelphia facility where the United States Treasurer Brandon Beach struck the final circulating 1-cent coin, the penny. The event marks the official end of the penny's 232-year production run as a circulating coin. You know, I was reading some of the information on Stack's Bowers. They actually give more information than the United States Mint does. And I'm like, why can't the Mint be this communicative? I mean, there was like 6 or 7 paragraphs on this particular listing. I just, it's a head scratcher either way. But thank you for Stack's Bowers having such a great and, complete picture of what's going on with the Lincoln cent. It says, today, the Mint celebrates 232 years of penny manufacturing, said Christy McNally, acting Mint director. While general production concludes today, the penny's legacy lives on as its usage in commerce continues to evolve. Its significance in American history will endure. The penny, first authorized by the Coinage Act of 1792, has long played a role in daily American life, from the earliest days of the U.S. economy to the present. However, economic and production factors combined with evolving consumer behavior, digital money, right, debit cards and so on and so forth, right, retailers making it easier to pay, I don't have any cash on me, and they're like, that's okay, you can use your card, right, have made its continued production unsustainable. Over the past decade, the cost of producing each penny has risen from 1.42 cents to 3.69 cents per penny, and we don't have the fiscal year 2025 report out just yet, and it could be closer to 5 cents. It easily could. Whoops, where'd I go? While circulating production has ceased, a penny remains legal tender. That means you probably can't melt them down still, right? There is an estimated 300 billion pennies in circulation, far exceeding the amount needed for commerce. Retailers and other businesses can continue to price goods and services in 1 cent increments. And I think that, look, you're probably going to find pennies in your couch. You can find them in your car, your glove box, in your center console of your vehicle. I mean, they're everywhere. They're in parking lots. The penny is everywhere, and people treat it like garbage. And it's no wonder the penny is done. And not only that, it says here retailers and other businesses can continue to price goods and services in 1 cent increments. And I think that's probably a legacy that the United States legislative body needs to address, because, retailers, commerce is wondering, should I round up? Should I round down? And rounding isn't actually a new thing. Some people have told me when they go overseas to military installations, they've been rounding up for years and years. So it's not a new thing. And they probably have some kind of, I don't want to say codification or legislation, but that's what they do. So why can't they have that here for commerce here in the United States? Now let's bounce over to Stack's Bowers so we can show you the auction. Here we go. This is pretty wild what's happening here. And I just, that final set with the dies, I really think that ought to be, and I know the whole shoulda, coulda, woulda thing, and all that, but it really needs to be in the Smithsonian. It's part of American history right there. There it is, the last pennies, put it with the coin collection in the Smithsonian. I think that'd be fantastic. All right, so here we go. This is December 2025 auction. It happens Thursday, December 11th. That's when the gavel, smashes, and they call it, and it's over. All right, this includes a 24-karat gold penny sold on behalf of the United States Mint. My question is, why did the Mint use PCGS, right? Why not NGC or, CAC or what is it, IGC or Annex? Why PCGS? And why Stack's Bowers all the time? Why don't they spread the love around? I always wondered about that. All right, so here we go. This is number one, right? The very first one has $26,000. Number two is 11. Number three is 10,000, 10,000, 10,000, 13, 13, 11, 11, 11, 11, 11, 11. So it makes me wonder when I see bids like this. And check this out also. Let's go to lowest first, all right? I really would love to see just, like, these bids started at $3,500. That was your entry point for this. Now there's a lot of them here that are 85, 85, 85. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 30, okay, 30, but about 34 of these are $8,500. Do you think, what are the chances 34 different people all bid the same thing at $8,500? Or does that give you the feeling that one person, one organization is doing the bidding at $8,500? I mean, it'll be interesting to find out where these coins end up ultimately and how many one person or one organization actually gets. I mean, for some folks, $8,500 is a drop in the bucket. It's meaningless. It's pointless. For other folks, I mean, that's everything, right? So I would like to see, does Stack's Bowers go, okay, you got your one, you're going to win, good job, or do they let them bid on multiple or an unlimited number of lots? And I think it's unlimited, and I think that's also a bummer in the summer. So I think we should be limiting to like maybe 4 or 5, maybe 10, but not 30, right? And it should be in the Smithsonian, at least the last one. So I've yammered enough on that. I don't want to have to, I'm not trying to push my ideas on everybody else, but that's just how I feel about it. No big deal. All right, let's keep on keeping on. Here we go. This is the set number 1 of 232. It's the beginning of the end of the circulating set. This is set number 1 of 232. It says so twice. What's interesting about this, 24-karat gold 1 cent is in PCGS graded, mint state 69. That's almost a perfect. This 70 would have been perfect. But look at this. This is the first one that was struck. You'd think this would be like the nicest one. Or did they strike a bunch before, like practice strikes? Well, let me just practice on these, right? And that's easily what they could have done. That's why it's a mint state 65 red. In fact, both Philadelphia and Denver struck are, well, Mint State 65 red. And like I said, like I always say, if you ever get a circulating coin set, generally speaking, they are a Mint State 65. I think that's the lowest grade that circulating coin sets will offer or be graded at. All right, now I came across some really good information that I wanted to share with you. This is important. I did say this was PCGS. There's some really great information here. Really great information. The Alpha, the Omega. It says, while a version of the set will live on as part of the annual. Here, yeah, this is a gut punch, and I'm like not happy with this. But then again, what choice do I have? It says here, while a version of the Lincoln cent will live on as part of our annual proof and mint sets with special finishes. What? Oh, bummer. Yeah, really big time bummer. What do you think that means, folks? Remember they did those special finishes in like before 2010 and 2009 and 8? Yeah, I didn't like those at all. These Omega coins serve as a conclusion to the classic circulating finish that has helped countless Americans pay for a can of soda or a candy bar across more than a century. And I remember my mom and dad telling me they could get a whole bag of candy, hard candy, for a penny, and maybe even a soda. That is remarkable. But nowadays, what can you buy with a penny? People discard them in the parking lot. They're in their couch cushions. They're in the center console of their vehicle, getting sticky. It's just one of those things. They're done, right? Now it says here, each of these 3 coin Omega sets is accompanied by a serialized certificate of authenticity, and set number 232, the last coin struck for this purpose, will also include the 3 sets of canceled original dies used to strike the coins in recognition of their historic significance. The United States Treasurer Brandon Beach and the United States Mint Acting Director Kristen McNally personally operated the presses to strike many of the final Omega coins. Now, if that's the case, how come all those labels from PCGS say that this was one struck by Brandon Beach, or if that is his name? How come they don't say Kristen McNally on it? I thought that was a really big question. Now, this is kind of funny, actually. This is where they're like, yeah, it's going to be worth millions. Check this out. These Omega coins boast the lowest mintages in the Lincoln cent series and are some of the rarest coins of the entire 1 cent denomination. Their respective mintages of 232 coins are more than 2,000 times lower than that of the famous 1909 SVDB Lincoln cents, and only a fraction of the production quality for the original 1793 chain reverse cents that started it all. The most valuable 1909 SVDB Lincoln cent was sold for more than $300,000. Are they saying that this is going to sell for more than $300,000? Well, we're at $170,000 right now for that one with the dies, and the most valuable, the 1793 chain cent, was sold for more than $2 million. These Omega coins are magnitudes rarer than either of those 2 cents. Though millions of collectors are actively assembling sets of Lincoln pennies at any given time, only 232 will have the opportunity for true completion via the historic offering. And yeah, I think that's a bummer. I think the Mint could have done like maybe 5 sets of these. Done a lottery on the Mint website, like, oh, hey, you've purchased X amount of products this year. You're entered into the lottery to pick up one of these historic sets for free. The Mint could have done that easily. And I think that's a bummer that they don't do anything like that. Really, really a bummer in the summer. Let's keep reading here. It says, creating the historic Omega cents. The production of these historic Omega sets was coordinated national effort by teams at the United States Mint and the Treasury. The Omega coins were struck in several batches across 3 different days in the summer and fall of 2025. The first to be struck for the special offering were 232 circulating coins from Denver Mint, which Mr. Brandon Beach and the acting Mint Director Kristen McNally had no part of, I would imagine, right? The Denver did their thing. They were given the orders, and they salute and execute the order right there. Now, which were completed in a single day on Friday, August 8th. After striking a handful of classic circulating and gold coins intended as Mint Heritage assets, the Philadelphia Mint then struck the first 230 coins, each of the classic circulating cent and the 24-karat gold cent, on Tuesday, September 23rd. These Philadelphia coins had the distinction of being struck by acting Mint Director Kristen McNally, who personally operated the presses. Right? Do you think any of those labels say that? Why wouldn't they? With the majority of these Omega cents coined by the end of the summer, there still remained 4 coins, 2 each of the circulating Philadelphia and the 24-karat gold cents to be left to be produced before the legacy could be fully complete. And I was like, well, wait a minute, what? So I went back over here and I went to lot number, okay, just to get it in order, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, linear order. And I'm going to go from page 1 to page 2 to page 3. And I scroll down to the bottom here, page 3. I got to show you. All right, this is the last one with the dies in it. Let's go open up number 230. Oops, I don't think I should have done that. Oh, I hate when I do that. Darn it. Let me fix that. Close left view. Oh, I don't know why. It's a new feature Google's using, and I'm not really familiar with it. And I kind of blew it there. All right, here we go. Let's try and open that again. I don't want to open link in split view. Have you tried that yet? Yeah, it's Splitsville. All right, so there's the one, 170,000. Okay, that's the one that was struck by Brandon Beach. But what about the one from Kristen McNally? I always think it's that Pon farr lady from Star Trek. All right, here's number 10230. Let's check that one out. It doesn't say anything about who it was struck by. It just says Omega Privy, last Lincoln's right there. But that's not the whole story. Check this out. This is the one right here. And it's funny, too, because the current bid on this one, why doesn't it? There it goes. Hi. 13,000. It's only 13,000 for this one. And I got to wonder why, because check this out. Yeah, look at this. Bingo. Ding, 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 ding. Look at this. That gold cent struck by Treasure Beach. The Philadelphia strike, Mid-State 64, struck by Treasure Beach. Yeah, so he struck 2 of the final ones. One of them comes with the dies. The other one doesn't. That's this one. So isn't that quite something? I think this is a really important set to get. So it's going to be the last one, the first one, and the second to the last one, I think, that are going to be the 3 most important out of all of these different sets. I think that's important to think about. It says the last strike ceremony here. On Wednesday, November 12th, the collective gaze of American numismatics was focused on the United States Mint in Philadelphia for the final striking ceremony of the very last circulating cents. The ceremony itself was a national moment, generating widespread media coverage and attended by prominent officials from both the Treasury and the United States Mint. In preparation for the conclusion of the series, 3 test strikes were produced and eventually discarded. Those are probably the ones you see him holding with his fingers without a glove, right? I think that's what happened there. At least that's what I hope what happened. Or maybe that's why we see the Mid-State 64 instead of a 68. Right? In recognition of the historic importance, the United States Treasurer Brandon Beach personally operated the presses for the final 4 Omega cents, 2 of each of the circulating gold cents, adding a personal and institutional touch that will forever resonate with collectors and historians. And that's what I showed you there, folks. It's quite something. And there's a bunch of other information here that's absolutely fantastic. It gives a really good depth of the Lincoln cent and some of the other stuff going on. Really great article here. I like I said, I would hope that the United States Mint would be this descriptive. It's got the obverse, the designer Victor Brenner, sculptor Victor Brenner, designer Lyndall Bass, artistic infusion program designer, sculptor Joseph Mena, right there. That's the shield cent. That is quite something, and it talks about the specifications for each, right? 6.3 grams for the gold penny. All right, it's 0.213 troy ounce. I think we thought it was $800 or $900 worth of gold. That's just for the gold weight on it, right? And it's got the privy mark of the Omega, Denver mint mark, none obviously for the gold penny and the Philadelphia struck penny. But wouldn't it be cool if they did put a P mint mark for that last penny, like they did for 2017? Yeah, that was pretty cool. Anyway, I think that's going to be it. I've yammered way too long about this, and I got to ask the question. Are they going to make, you know how it said, our Lincoln cents are going to continue on in the future with, right here, this particular paragraph, while a version of the cent will live on as part of annual proof and mint sets. Mint sets is usually what they call uncirculated sets, right? With special finishes. Bummer in the summer. So if that's the case, I don't think that the future Lincoln cents going forward are going to be worth as much. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I could be right. I could be wrong. Like the John Lydon song says. But I don't like the fact that they're changing the finish on that Lincoln cent. They just can't keep it an uncirculated Lincoln cent, or what are they going to do? Like reverse proof from now on, or enhanced proof, or something of that nature? I don't even know. I guess I'm drawing. I don't know. It's kind of frustrating to hear that for me. Not really happy, but that's all right. They're not here to make me happy. They're here to get rid of the penny. Now let's go to the +1 action already. This is Proverb 18, number 21. And this is probably one of the most important things ever, right? Words. Words are important. And you probably hear words from your parents in your head, even though you're an old man still, right? Or even an old person. Think about that. Words have a lingering, lasting effect. Some people can never stop hearing the voices in their head from their parents or people that were mean to them, right? That sucks. I feel bad, and I hope that you get over it and heal. This is Proverb 18:21. The power of life and death is in the tongue. Those who use the power of the tongue, right? Those who love to use it will eat its fruit. Bitter fruit, right? If you use kind words, though, others are going to be kind to you. You got to share a smile with someone who's blue now. You know what that's from. Get the lead out. In the phrase, and God said, is a repeated refrain from the book of Genesis, signifying God's act of creation was accomplished through the power of divine speech. In the creation story, God speaks, and the desired outcome occurs, such as saying, let there be light, and light immediately appears, right? I mean, think about that. Bam! Power of words. And, we're human beings, and I'm not saying we're godlike or anything, but we were made in his image. And why not the other stuff too, right? Not just his image. I imagine some other things as well. And I think we all have the power to create things with our words. There's a saying here in Kabbalah, it's a Kabbalistic idea that words have creative power, abracadabra, right there, meaning I will create as I speak, which echoes the Kabbalistic idea that words have creative power. That's huge, folks. And if you can remember that next time you speak, well, you'll be way better off in life. And just make sure you speak good words, not salty bad words, ones that make people bitter and upset and don't want to smile at you anymore. Because that's important. Think about that. You want to be cool, man. Keep your stuff under, and even with written word, right? Don't just be cool. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, let's go to 39's Fine 99.9 KOI and Coin News Radio. This is Jamiroquai, Virtual Insanity, and it's got lyrics on screen. And it's a really cool song. Maybe you can listen to the lyrics, listen to the words. They have some deeper meanings that should be listened, right? Listened to, heard, right? And that's going to wrap it up for this episode of the Son of a Silver Stacker, Numismatic News and Information. And I want to thank you all for coming here. Thanks for dropping by. Don't forget to hit that like button. And if you do like what you hear and see, sub the channel. It's absolutely free. It is. It's free. You can come to YouTube. I mean, yeah, you got to pay your electric bill and all that, and you got to buy your computer or phone or whatever. But just to watch the video, it's free, right? Just a little bit of time. What's not free, though, is going to be membership. It's $1.99 a month. I'm not having a round up at $2. Nope, we're not doing that here because YouTube takes care of all that. It's about, 6.6 cents per video. It's not a whole lot. And if it is a lot, I hope your situation turns around quicker than not quick, right? Sooner than later. And price of a cheap cup of coffee really is. You all have a great Black Friday. Get some stuff that you need. Lots of deals today and many different avenues. There's car deals, there's cruise deals, there's jewelry deals, et cetera, et cetera. You've seen it. You've seen it on TV. They're everywhere right now. They want your dollar. There's a lot of people out there that want that dollar right now. Anyway, you all have a great day. Stacker out.